Hello everybody, my name is Clayton Huffman. I'm here with the Key West Citizen, and there's a group of us who had a great opportunity this past week actually, to go up to the FIU, which is the Florida International University, located in Miami. They have a facility down here in Alamorada and Key Largo. They actually took over the Aquarius, which if you don't know what the Aquarius is, it's located about 3.5 miles off the coast of Key Largo. It is a stationary 82-ton module which sits in the National Marine Sanctuary, some, like I said, about 3.5 miles off the coast of Key Largo, in about 60 feet of water. It's a 200-foot, it has a 200-foot umbilical cord which connects to the service provided, like critical sustained services such as electricity, water, computer access, which is critical nowadays, and telephones in case there's an emergency. With this facility, they took over from NOAA, that's the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA for the acronym, which was deployed in 1983. It's an underwater lab. It simulates harsh living environments as if you're in space. So with that said, NASA sends a lot of its astronauts, scientists, researchers down here to study what's going on, and NASA has a project going on called NEMO, which is a NASA analog mission that sends groups of astronauts, engineers, scientists. They live on the Aquarius for up to 3 weeks at a time. They're getting ready to do, this time they're here simulating as if they're on an asteroid doing mining research. So they're testing out some drills and stuff. Really great project going on. We got some video of this going on right now. And when we was out there, we shot some video and some pictures, some still frames that we're going to show you along, with the article we got going on in today's paper. Like I said, it's a 400 square foot liveaboard. It's an awesome project. We got, like I said, you go see some clips and stuff going on. It does simulate the harsh living environment of space. All activities there for this project with this crew is they're going to be monitored 24 hours a day. They have a mission control center there at the facility in Alamorada watching over it. They have mile marker 83. It's a great project, so let's get started, show you some clips and videos we have of this so far.
What we call hat. This particular one is a Superlight 17. This is a very well-known, popular diving hat. And what this does by diving with a diving hat is it enables us to be much more like spaceflight, in that our face can be dry when we're in here, which means we can extend our dives for a very long time and be very comfortable. And we have both video and audio back to the habitat and back to the Mission Control Center.
Is there a second?
Yeah.
I need one from both sides.
I found the second one. And see if you like the second one around. There we go.
I guess we should be pitched down.
There's no pitch control.
No pitch control, but I'll show you outside. You can control the camera, so you can actually tilt the camera up and down. I go up, I say, look, it's going to stay stuck here.
Two NASA astronauts, and then we have one ESA.
Right.
And we have another mission coming up,
Mm-hmm.
in a month from now, or a month and a half. And we have international partners there, and we also throw in the mix Canadian Space Agency.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Andy Mogensen on that flight is getting ready to fly relatively soon. So we've got people in all those categories that we talked about.
Okay. So this is just another level of training for them that they
Right.
to get them prepared to
Right.
go to space. And there is great similarity between being that far down with no gravity in there and being in space. So this kind of gives you the environment, I guess, to get them to feel what it's like
Right.
before they actually get up there. Though.
Right.
Okay.
So there's a lot of components of that. But
Mhm.
to be succinct, an undersea habitat is isolated, it's extreme, and there's consequences to your actions. It's an opportunity for people to do science inside of the habitat, interior science, as well as go into the water column and perform space-similar tasks that replicate what we call EVAs, or extravehicular activities. So you've got the whole package, inside, outside, and the whole psychological and physiological feel of a mission.
So you got the
And they're here to lead, or as the commander of the NEMO mission, and kind of educate the crews that go through the training on what's very similar about what we're doing here and what's different about space. So you need that one person that can really talk to it since they've been in space. Then we have those people that have been in the astronaut program and they're waiting to be assigned. And this is just further training, real world training in an extreme environment, what it's like to be part of something like this. And then we have those people that have been assigned, they're getting close, and they'll fly soon. This is one of the last things that they'll do before they'll go time on very high fidelity simulators. My background is in shuttle training, where I trained a lot of crews. And when you go into the shuttle simulator, it's very much like the real vehicle. It even tilts on its back to where you feel like you're sitting in the space shuttle. There's thousands of switches, and they all work together. And you can talk to mission control, and you can flip the switches. But ultimately, at the end of the day, whether it's 5 o'clock or whatever, you go home to your family. So you know that you're in a simulation, and you know that you're in a simulator. Whereas here, we were looking for a different experience. We were looking for something that is extreme, and it's isolated, and it's very much the same flavor and feel of a space flight on every level, where you're actually living in the environment, working as a team, working together for a common goal. And as I said, it's very high fidelity with the timeline, with the procedures, the tasks. Everything closely mimics a space flight, down to the mission control team support. What I call good citizenship skills. You have to start to get a sense on what you can do and when you can do it and how to time it and how can I help my other crewmates on the mission and how can I best be utilizing my time. Aquarius isn't big enough for all of us to get up and all 6 people to be moving around at the same time. You have to kind of plan what you're going to do. You have a strategic plan. I'm going to get up, go over here, get that wrench, go type something on the computer, then come back to the galley. You kind of have to think through it on a micro scale.
All right, so essentially, if you'd like to follow our mission, anyone from the comfort of their home or any school group can do it from the comfort of their classroom. All they have to do is go to the FIU Aquarius website. So that's aquarius.fiu.edu. If you go to the section, I believe it's the 3rd tab, called Current Mission, you'll see a listing of all the different camera views that we have. So you can follow along what's going inside the Aquarius while the folks are having their meetings or eating lunch or waking up, to what's going on the exterior. So what's happening in the reef. If it's a science mission, we usually put cameras on the helmets so that we, as the public, can follow along and be part of the science, be part of the research, see the reef for ourselves, as well as with the astronauts. We'll be engaging and so that we can follow along and be part of the training that they're doing and all of the different activities. So essentially, we just like to bring the public with us on the mission. So this is our website right over here. It's a little slow. So if you go here, if you go to current mission, okay, on the left-hand side, you're going to see these are all the different camera views that we have. So you, from the comfort of your home, can follow along what's going on. So if you click on the galley, you get the galley view. We also have red diver and green divers. So when we actually put the cameras and the comms on the divers, whether they be the astronauts or the science researchers that are doing reef work, then the public can follow along on the dive and be part of the experiment and see what's happening. We also have Facebook and Twitter, so if anyone wants to ask questions, we're answering them constantly. We have an Ask an Aquanaut page. We also have our Ustream site, so we broadcast it live through the stream, and people are constantly chatting and asking questions, so we engage the public that way. Right now we don't have it on just because this will go live on Monday once the team goes into the habitat. And for the duration of the mission, for the 10 days, you can access it.
Hope I had a great time. I know I did. This is a learning experience for myself and hopefully for you guys. And I will be taking it up on looking at FIU's website so I can monitor these people, 24/7 while they're down there, and learning all kinds of new stuff. I mean, where else can you go see NASA scientists, NASA astronauts, scientists from all over the world, different governments astronauts. I mean, people all over the world coming here to train for this. So it brings a great learning exposure to the Florida Keys, on top of our great reefs and fishing and diving and everything else. So I hope you guys brought something away from this, and I hope you go and visit the website there at FIU. She gave you all the instructions how to get there. I looked through it. It's very entertaining and very educational. So again, go check it out, and I hope everybody had a great time. I'm Clayton Huffman with the Key West Citizen, and stay tuned for more projects like this coming up in the near future.